Hello dear student, myself Kanchan Vishramji Kumbhalkar, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry of Sri Shivaji College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Akola. This is my fourth lecture on Paper 1, Unit 4, Non-Aqueous Solvents. So let's start with the fourth lecture. Before that, this is the overall syllabus of 4th unit, part A. The highlighted topics are already completed. In this lecture, we will deal with the one more example of non-aqueous solvents, that is liquid dinitrogen tetroxide, that is N2O4. So let's start the information about the liquid dinitrogen tetroxide, which is one of the non-aqueous solvents under our syllabus. Now, the liquid dinitrogen tetroxide, that is N2O4, has been studied extensively as a non-protic and non-aqueous solvent. What is meant by non-protic? The solvent which contain H positive ion, or after dissociation it generate H positive ion, that is known as the protic solvent. And the non-protic solvent means the species which does not contain a hydrogen and after dissociation does not give a H positive, that is considered as the non-protic. In a N2O4 there is no any hydrogen which can be formed a H positive. So hence N2O4 is counted as a non-protonic solvent. It is obviously a non-aqueous solvent. It is non-aqua, means it is not a watery, therefore it is a non-aqueous and non-protonic solvent. The physical property of this solvent has been given in below table. These are the some characterization of this liquid dinitrogen tetroxide. The first property is freezing point. Its freezing point is minus 11.2 degrees Celsius and boiling point is 21.1 degrees Celsius. And in between this freezing point and boiling point, the liquid dinitrogen tetroxide exists in a liquid phase. Below the minus 11.2 it is exist in a solid, and above 21.1 degrees Celsius it is exist in a vapor phase or gaseous phase. Next one is the density. It is quite heavy. At a 0 degree Celsius it is about 1.493 gram per ml. The dielectric constant, it is very low as compared to the water, it is only 2.42. Viscosity in centipoise, that is 0.527 at about 0 degree Celsius. And the specific conductance. Now what is specific conductance? Specific conductance is 1.3 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 ohm inverse centimeter inverse at a 0 degree Celsius. The specific conductance or the conductance of the system or the solvent is because of the formation of ion. If any chemical generate ions, if it is an electrolyte on the basis of its nature, strong or weak, that is considered as it gives a conductance. The electric current has been flow from that of the solvent, and its specific characterization is nothing but counted as a specific conductance. So this is the point of electrochemistry. So specific conductance is the conductance shown by those chemical which is having a electrolytic characterization, means after dissociation they give the ions. Means if it is showing a conductance, means it has been proved that the liquid dinitrogen tetroxide generate ions when it is in a solvent form. Now the autoionization. Much of the chemistry in this solvent can be rationalized in terms of an autoionization equilibrium of this type. Autoionization means what? There are two words. Auto means self, ionization means the formation of ions. The N2O4 get converted into the NO positive and NO3 negative under equilibrium. Means this compound get converted into this ions, and this ions backwardly get converted into the N2O4 at every second. They are under equilibrium. Now it has been proved that the N2O4 get converted into NO positive, NO3 negative by this autoionization, but although there is no any physical evidences for the above type of autoionization which is occurring in that of the N2O4. We write here the autoionization, that is N2O4 gets dissociated into the NO positive and NO3 negative, but it is not having any physical evidences that this reaction occurred in N2O4. But on the basis of electrical conductance of N2O4, which can be increases by adding a donor or a polar solvent to it, and this may perhaps be due to the increasing stabilization of cation and anion, that is NO positive and NO3 negative respectively, of N2O4 as a result of ion dipole interaction of these ions with the molecules of the added donor or polar solvent. The physically there is no evidence of this is the reaction happened, the physical evidences is not there. But if you add a donor compound or a polar solvent in N2O4, it has been observed that the electrical conductance of this compound or solvent is increases, and this is happened because of the stabilization of NO positive and NO3 negative because of ion dipole interaction. What is ion dipole interaction? Suppose we are adding a polar solvent, that is HCl. In HCl, H is always partially positive and Cl is always partially negative on the basis of its electronegativity. So, H is positive N and Cl is the negative N, means they are dipole. Di means two, poles means different. So, there are positive and negative, two different poles are existed. Now, in this case, when we are considering the dipoles has been get react with that of the these ions, and this if this ions has been formed, then and then only that HCl get combined with this ion and there is a generation of ion dipole interaction, and which gives the stabilization of cation and anion. But it is happened when this type of reaction is feasible, this type of reaction is occurred, or otherwise if it is not occurred, then there is no any ion dipole interaction established. But it has been proved that on the basis of ion dipole interaction, this stabilized positive and negative species, and hence it has been proved that on the basis of electrical conductance increases because of the addition of donor or polar solvent into N2O4. It has been proved that this reaction is occurred. So, hence it has been proved that this reaction means autoionization has been occurred by means of increase in electrical conductance by means of ion dipole interaction between the polar solvent and the ions. Thus, assuming that N2O4 undergoes autoionization as mentioned above, it can be said that any chemical species which gives the cation NO positive in this solvent will behave as an acid, and any chemical species which gives anion, that is NO3 negative, in this solvent will behave as a base. Thus, NOCl behaves as an acid in N2O4 as is evidenced from the following reaction. Now, this NOCl, what is the basic concept, what is the basic principle? The species, any compound, if it generate a NO positive in presence of N2O4 as a solvent, then that compound is act as a or declared as a acid. And if any species generate a NO3 negative in a presence of N2O4, then it is counted as a base. For example, NOCl. When NOCl is added to the N2O4, there is a formation of 2 molecule of NO positive ion, and according to the principle, it has been cleared that because of the formation of cation, that is NO positive, this NOCl in a presence of N2O4 act as a acid. So, it is acidic in nature in presence of N2O4. Now, further it is react. Thus, the acid behaves of acidic behavior of NOCl in N2O4 when it react with that of the SN, it is gives the exact parallel behavior when the HCl is react with that of the water, when it react with the zinc as is apparent from the next reaction. So, NOCl in presence of N2O4 gives NO positive with the liberation of Cl negative. When further SN react with a NO positive gives 2 molecule of NO SN2 positive. Then SN2 positive react with that of the 2 molecules of chloride and there is a formation of SnCl2. Now, this NOCl plus SN get converted into 2NO plus SnCl2. This is the combination of these three, means SN2 positive get cancelled, NO2 positive, NO positive, 2 molecules of NO positive, 2 molecules of NO positive get cancelled, 2 molecules of Cl cross with 2 molecules of Cl negative. So, there is a remain NOCl, then SN, then 2NO and SnCl2. So, this is the overall reaction. But this reaction is comparatively exactly same behavior when the HCl treated with that of the water. We know that the HCl is an acid, but on the basis of this theory we prove it as a acid. Now, what is the basic concept? When H2O, which is a solvent, a very good solvent, H2O get dissociated or autoionized, there is a formation of H positive and OH negative. If you take a 2 molecule of H2O, then it converted into hydronium ion and hydroxide ion, that is H3O positive and OH negative. If any species generate H3O positive in presence of H2O, then it is act as a acid, and if it generate OH negative in presence of H2O, then it is act as a base. Now, we are taking this example. When HCl, we know that it is acid, but we are trying to prove it in this method. So, HCl when react with that of the 2 molecules of H2O in presence of water, the HCl generate a H3O positive and loss of 2 molecule of Cl negative. Means in presence of water, HCl form a cation, hence HCl is counted as an acid by this method. So, it has been declared that HCl is an acid by this method. Similarly, further when this H3O positive and zinc react and there is a formation of Zn2 positive ion, 2 molecule of H2 and H2. Then further Zn2 positive react with that of the 2 molecules of chlorine and there is a formation of ZnCl2, and by adding and subtracting we get a overall this reaction. This exact reaction indicate the same behavior of NOCl which has been shown in previous reaction with a N2O4. So, it has been proved that NOCl is act as a acid in a presence of N2O4. Let us check out the next one. Now, in this case, the compound EtNH3 plus NO3 negative behaves as a base because it generates the NO3 negative. Where is the NO3 negative ion? So, let us start with from first reaction. The N2O4 get autoionized in a NO positive and NO3 negative. Again, it is added with that of the zinc and zinc consume a NO positive and there is a formation of Zn2 positive and 2 molecules of NO has been lost. Then it is a redox reaction. So, the electron has been transferred from zinc to the NO and there is a acceptance of electron and it gets stabilized and Zn become 2 positive. Now, in a third reaction, this is our targeted product that it behave acidic or basic, and it has been proved that it is behaves as a basic in nature. This is EtNH3 plus NO3 negative. When it is in combined with that of the Zn2 positive and 2 molecule of NO3 negative, then this zinc 2 molecule of NO3 and the third molecule of NO3 negative is combined and there is a formation of ZnNO3 2 negative. So, this compound liberate or generate a NO3 negative, and on the basis of definition it has been state that the species which generate a NO positive is acidic in nature and NO3 negative is a basic in nature. In this reaction, this compound form a or separate out a NO3 negative. Hence, this compound is counted as a base in nature in a presence of N2O4. Remember these things. So, by cancelling all the common ions, we get Zn plus N2O4 plus 2 ETNH3 plus NO3 negative and generate ETNH3 by 2 plus ZnNO3 by 4, 2 negative plus 4 molecules of NO. This 2 NO and this 2 NO get added. They are to the same side. So, this is your final equation, and on the behalf of this it has been proved that this compound, because of it generate NO3 negative, it is a basic in nature or base. Now, the same reaction, a typical reaction of ETNH3 plus NO3 with zinc in presence of N2O4, this is the reaction, is exactly similar to the reaction of zinc with NaNH2 in liquid ammonia. Means when zinc in NaNH2 react in presence of liquid ammonia, it showing the exactly same reaction. Now, next one, before that, the solvolysis of metal oxides in N2O4 is similar to their solvolysis in liquid ammonia. The solvolysis of metal oxide, any metal, the solvolysis of metal oxide in N2O4 is similar to their solvolysis in liquid ammonia, which has been shown. Now, in this reaction, the two molecule of N2O4 get dissociated into NO positive and NO3 negative. This is autoionization, and the metal oxide, here the calcium oxide has been taken. When react, there is a abstraction of NO positive and there is a formation of Ca2 positive with the formation of N2O3. Now, further this Ca2 positive abstract the two molecule of NO3 negative, it generate a CaNO3 by 2 complex, and combinedly this is the overall reaction. And the same reaction has been observed in the liquid ammonia. Means the solvolysis means, ammonolysis means what? The breakdown of ammonia. Whatever solvolysis means, the solvent, whatever it has been, the solvent which has been used in a reaction, that has been breaked into ions and they are consumed step by step. Means in this reaction, the N2O4 has been used as a solvent, it get autoionized into a NO positive and NO3 negative, and with the help of metal oxide that has been consumed one by one. First, at a first point, the NO positive has been get consumed, and in second there is a NO3 negative has been consumed. So, solvolysis having the two words, solvent and lysis. The lysis means breakdown. The breakdown of solvent into the ions is nothing but a solvolysis. Now, the similar reaction has been shown here, that is when ammonia get autoionized, there is a formation of cation and anion. Now, this metal oxide first of all consume a cation and then anion, and there is a formation of a complex, and overall reaction is this one. So, basic concept is that the solvolysis of metal oxide in N2O4 dinitrogen tetroxide is similar to their solvolysis in liquid ammonia. These two reactions comparatively show the fact. In fact, solvolysis of halides of metal in N2O4 provide an excellent method for preparing anhydrous metal nitrates, which are otherwise extremely difficult to prepare. Means on the basis of solvolysis process with the halide of metal halide, means this is ZnX2, this is metal halide. By the solvolysis process, it is very good method for the preparing anhydrous metal nitrate. So, for the preparation of metal nitrates, the solvolysis process is the best option, which is not, otherwise it is difficult to prepare. So, in this case, for example, what is the reaction? What I want to say? This ZnX2 is very hard to prepare ZnNO3 by 2 by another method. But by simple solvolysis method, by using a N2O4, this reaction is quite easy and happier. It is extremely very good, excellent method. Now, what is the reaction? First of all, the autoionization, that is N2O4 reacts and there is a formation of cation and anion, that is NO positive and NO3 negative by means of autoionization. Then the metal halide react with that of the positive species, that is cation, and formation of oxidation and reduction reaction takes place, and there is a formation of Zn2 positive and 2 molecule of NOx. But this NOx, which is produced in this reaction, decomposed into a NO and X2. It is not a stable one. So, it get converted into NO and X2, 2 molecule of NO. We are taking here 2 molecules. There is a generation of 2 molecule of NOx. So, 2 mole of NO and X2 has been generated from decomposition of NOx, and it does not participated in the reversible equilibrium reaction. So, this get converted into this, but Zn2 positive may be get converted into the ZnX2. But in this case, NOx is not reversible return to the reactant. It is not participant of the equilibrium or reverse equilibrium reaction. Now, the finalized equation is the 2 molecule of N2O4 react with ZnX2 and there is a formation of 2 molecule of NO, and this is the targeted anhydrous metal nitrate, that is zinc nitrates here, which has been prepared by simple solvolysis method. Several metal carbonyls are also solvolized in a similar manner. For example, this is again the autoionization, that is N2O4 get converted into NO positive and NO3 negative. Now, this is the carbonyl compound. We know that CO. CO is a ligand. It is a ligand which has been used. Here there is a combination of 5 carbonyl compounds with that of the metal Mn. Manganese metal has been used as a central metal atom, and there is a combination of cation and anion, that is autoionization product of N2O4, and it gives the formation of carbonyl nitrate metal complex. So, to form a metal carbonyls by means of solvolysis method, this is the best option for metal carbonyls also. So, metal carbonyls get converted into the metal carbonyls and nitrate complex. The metal carbonyls get converted into the metal nitrates and carbonyl complex. One more another example, that is iron carbonyl reacts with the N2O4. The first one autoionization, then this metal carbonyl, that is iron carbonyl complex, react with that of the anion and then cation, and there is a combination gives a iron nitrate complex. So, carbonyl get converted into the nitrate complex by solvolysis method. N2O4 is also known as the form solvated species of the type. This is the one more type of solvaces, means in this case the N2O4 autoionized and now the metal has been react with this and formation of a complex having the cation. In this case, the solvent has been continually remain intact. Solvation means there are two things. First one is the solvolysis and second one is the solvation. Solvolysis means the solvent get lysis or breakdown. The solvent get converted into the ions. Solvent break up and there is a formation of cation and anion. That procedure is known as the solvolysis. Solvation means the overall solvent is remain intact. In previous cases, we observe that the NO positive and NO3 negative has been separate out completely, but in this case, which is an example of solvation, that is N2O4 remain intact in this complex, and such type of reaction is also possible in a presence of N2O4. Quite often, however, the solvated species formed as above are found to be nitrosonium nitrate compound. For example, scandium nitrate N2O4 or FeNO3 by 3N2O4 and so on. So there are various formation and which can be get again further reacted. So this is all about our today's topic, that is the non-aqueous solvent, that is dinitrogen tetroxide. So this is all about it. In the next lecture, we will start with the another non-aqueous solvent, that is molten salts as non-aqueous solvent. Up to then, take care, be safe, stay safe. Thank you very much.